Starting to the top left, the player whose nickname always reminds me a little bit of Kill Bill. It is
MVP Bang.
Don't you dare to ask why, Wolves.
I'm not.
You know, right?
I know.
Okay.
Kill Bill, very intense, very...
I'm not gonna ask you. Bottom right of the map, we have the AZUBU player. It's the Zerg in blue. The man who made it possible.
AZUBU Boom Boom.
The man who brought them to the playoffs.
Yep. And, you know, he strayed away from his cheeseburger and bulgogi burger and pizza ceremonies, so...
Could you please stop? I'm getting hungry.
Yeah, I didn't eat anything today except a little bit of peanuts, which caused me a little bit of a disaster at the start of this broadcast, but...
I had a great sandwich. That was it.
Yeah, I saw that sandwich. Every time you get those sandwiches, I think about it, and I'm like, next time. But I never get it.
You should really try it. They're really good.
They look good.
Yeah. We have a little bit of a special cafe here, close by, which is quite comfy. And they also offer a huge variety of really good sandwiches.
Yeah. We have a gas first opening from Bang, so he wants to, pun very intended, start things off with a bang here, as the final player even. Switching things up. Every other Terran we've seen in this matchup has gone CC first on the high ground.
Yeah. And we have pool gas into expand for the Zerg, which is, like, really interesting.
Like I said, man, earlier, this is one of those games that's probably going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Especially...
I could see a Baneling bust here.
I would like to see it, especially considering that we've seen such a huge trend of CC firsts and, you know, lack of barracks production, but...
Yeah.
2 Reapers.
There are not a lot of reasons why you would actually go into gas, into pool, into expand. At the beginning, there was one... You know when those Reaper builds were like really, really popular at the beginning? That's when Zerg players were thinking about that a little bit, but then it was like, you can't really do that because you're going to fall behind.
He clicks it. He clicks the gas, he sees how much has been mined. He saw the drones were pulled out, which is also continuing to be the case. He has not put drones back in the gas, so it looks like he just wants to get super fast speed.
Yeah, but this is a trade-off. You need the speed for something. I mean, there has to be an idea behind it. Right. You just don't get speed because you want it, and it's like, yeah, there's this one Reaper that's not going to kill anything in the entire game, but I don't like him. He's ugly, I want to kill him first, so...
The speed's not going to let the Zerglings charge in and get more damage when they do their headbutts against the wall. Not going to help you out there.
Don't need that gas that early if you don't have, like, any plans with that. So, the map control is, of course, cool, but why not go into hatch first, into gas, into pool? Then you have the economy a little bit faster.
Yeah,
so
and you can even pressure with slow links, too.
Yeah, so I'm still expecting something to happen out of this.
Keeps the Reaper at home. The second one, that is, which is a little bit odd to me. It will repel any lings that come up to check if there's a factory and see the command center, because he knows the overlords haven't really been able to see too much.
You know what he can do with the early speed? He can make sure that he 100% denies scouting information. And if he spreads the overlord and then chases down those Reapers early on, that would be rather what I would expect there. And we have 2 Reapers, so he needs to take them out. And there they are already. The Zerglings are just waiting for it to approach.
Well,
the Reaper is trapped. That is... Oh! That was nearly checkmate, but he finds a corner.
Yeah, now he can just hide somewhere else, like in the top right, and then come back later. But he's not going to scout anything anymore. That's going to be the case. He has to now be on the run.
Base. Getting gas again, going into the 3rd base now.
Yeah. This opening, definitely a little bit strange. He only takes 1 additional gas right now, too. He doesn't get 3rd or the 4th. This is one of those builds I don't know where it goes. It's not wrong, but it's just I don't know the next step here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still looking at this and I'm still asking myself, why get the gas so early? Why rush speed? Because the Reaper still got the scouting information at the beginning that he needed. Now it's a lot harder for him to actually see something with the control at the Zalnaga watchtowers, but it's still possible to find that 3rd base. I would have thought the only reason why you would go for this is because you want to hide something. You want to get the speed out so fast that you can take control of the Reapers. You will be able to take them down before anything happens. I just don't see a need to actually get speed this early, because if you do that, you sacrifice minerals, and you would be a little bit farther ahead in the economy and in the drone count if you get the extractor a little bit later. So I'm not quite sure what the idea here is, but that's not a build that I'm going to copy.
Yeah. Well, he will be able to start both his upgrades right away when the chambers finish. Slightly behind, of course, as +1 has already been started here for Bang, who continues the pressure here. He gets a tumor. When you save the Reapers and you still have these 2 Reapers with your Hellions, it actually adds a significant amount of DPS. Look at that. Picks off 3 and then gets away.
He doesn't have a Roach Warren, and that is starting to become a bit of a liability. The extra Queens they help. +1/+1 is now being started for both players, by the way. Not only for the Zerg, also the Terran play with the double Engineering Bay heading into the first set.
So he has his lair on the way now and takes his other gases. He has this extra gas bank, which probably is just going to be dumped into the Baneling Nest and the Spire in Baneling speed. At any rate, Queen's still under fire here. And he knows that if he tries to suggest his Lings, they're going to get roasted by the Hellions. That's why the Roach Warren being missing is a problem, as you just said. Bang, on the other hand, transitioning pretty normally back at home. Third command center is ready, adding the additional barracks, getting that stuff ready. Could snipe a Queen. Great transfuse. That was so close.
Yeah, that was the last second save there with the transfuse. That was very close indeed. And it just shows those Hellions are still doing a lot of damage. And oh my god, he gets taking out a lot of those Zerglings.
Yeah.
That was a trade well worth it. He's still controlling the creep spread. Very good map presence for Bang.
And losing the hit points on the Reapers is fine because they'll just regenerate. Just a little bit of extra DPS there.
Baneling Nest is by now done and the Spire is on the way. Speed has been started for the Banelings. Circling speed, of course, already done a long time ago. And even the Macro Edge coming in now for the additional lava.
So just to rehash this, I mean, the Zergling speed has not accomplished all too much for him at the time it came out.
It hasn't done anything.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's defended the Hellions with it, but he could have gotten it later and still done that. So.
A lot later and get the greedier opening. Maybe he thought he would be up against like a double barracks. Maybe just a super precaution because he thinks there is going to be a very aggressive double barracks play. This is the only thing that kind of makes sense to me, that he wanted to be very safe.
If he commits to the Marines, he's going to lose a lot of Lings. Oh, beautiful! Beautiful pullback there.
Really well done in this scenario and getting a lot of units here. Actually, we have Boom Boom taking quite the supply lead, chasing down a few additional SCVs. And let's not forget about the Spire that's soon going to come into play, and he has already 1,000 gas banked up.
Only 5 Marines here, and with 10 to 12 Mutas coming out instantly, as soon as he has the minerals for it, I could see a lot of damage being done here. Perhaps even some snipes on some add-ons.
+2/+2 started for the Terran player. The Zerg is lagging behind a little bit.
Yeah, true.
Okay, there we go. Doesn't forget about it. For a second I really thought that he missed that.
Just being annoying with his Reapers here. Good micro from Bang.
I don't know, we are once again entering a stage in the game where for the Terran player it's all about being a bit turtly. Trying to just be safe, not losing anything, getting those upgrades out, getting a very good economy on 3 bases and making sure that the army composition is there. The Medivac, of course, have to come into play. He needs to get those upgrades out, and once he has those, trying to trade cost efficiently against the Zerg and then move into the middle of the map. He's done a good job keeping the Zerg low at the beginning, forcing the creep a little bit back. The 4th base is now completed for Boom Boom, and a lot of upgrades also on the tab. But Bang so far has done a decent job. He just needs to make sure that he is working a bit with his Medivacs and that he is not falling into any traps here.
Yeah. Well, this pressure coming out here, since Baneling speed is long done, I think should be shut down. Not a whole lot of creep for him to really push back either. So I don't know what he's going to accomplish here. The Mutas are away from home. That's one thing to remember, but he doesn't have a lot of Medivacs to run with. How many Banelings do we have? 10 on the way, 6 out. This could do a little bit of damage here. Just remember, not a whole lot of creep for him to push back.
Splits are going to be important here, and there we go. He definitely played that micro map.
Oh, absolutely, man. And now the Widow Mine's right where they need to be.
Oh my god, these snipes. The last 2 Banelings doing a lot more damage, but at first, did you see those splits and the targeting?
It was insane. I remember 2-2 is getting closer to being finished. The Mutas want to fight here because so many of these Marines are on low hit points. The Widow Mines are also not ready. They're on cooldown. Oh, this could be perfect!
Gets the shot. But there are all the Queens, and he's losing a lot here, but the reinforcements are already on their way back, and the stim has been started.
2-2 is almost ready, and the Widow Mine's getting closer and closer to being off of cooldown here.
Yeah, and there they are. They can get their shots off. The first one hitting. The second one coming in.
Oh, beautiful hits here, but he's still being pushed back. Boom Boom somehow, some way pushes this back.
Yeah, but
The Queen's really helping out.
he still has a lot of minerals banked up, but the Medivacs with the Afterburners, they get away. They are able to just move back. +2/+2 is done for the Terran player. The Zerg will finish his upgrades in just the nick of time to make this happen with the next attack, with a move in, but he doesn't have the ground units anymore to support the Mutalisks.
He seems to have a larva problem. Now 13 larva finishes for him. He starts more lings, but you can see his resources not quite able to spend them all. He's out of larva again already, instantly here. He has also, by the way, 92 drones.
Once more, the important factor here is that without the Hive Tech, the Zerg can't go into 3-3, where the Terran player already started his attack upgrade. He's fighting against the Mutalisks now. Good shots with the Widowmine.
Yeah, it's like Bang just always has a little bit too few units to push all the way through. But he continues the aggression. He's parade pushing it SC style. And eventually, this is going to take its toll on the Zerg army. Oh, that Widowmine shot.
Hit.
That's the money shot he needed to actually push through. Still a supply lead for Boom Boom with a lot of that in drones. 92 to 64 harvesters right now.
The army supply is 65 for Bang and 58 for the AZUBU player. Boom Boom is starting to look a little bit shaken here. So many units rallied across the map. A fourth base being started here for Bang. And the Terran player doing a great job. And let's not forget about the upgrades that he already started. He will eventually just be in a huge lead in the upgrades.
Yeah, he may have overextended himself just briefly here for a little while. That's why these Bermudas are actually taking out these Marines very, very quickly. He will lose the Overseer potentially, though. He does not want to lose that.
6 splits here so far by Bang. Every single time when he needed to, he was there. He's going for the... Well, he's going actually for everything that he needs right now. Additional Widow Mines, he's going for the Claws. He has the +3 halfway done. Additional Medivacs. He can just push this in once again. 4 bases against 4 bases will be great for him once the upgrades are done. And Hive Tech is only halfway completed.
Those 92 drones for Boom Boom, you know, kind of a double-edged sword because yes, it gave him an insane economy, more than, you know, he really needed to saturate those bases. And also, it made his army supply weaker, but the fact that he mined so much extra money is starting to show here, and he's even now taking a 5th base. He didn't gain any map control, though, because of all this pressure. His creep is still very much stifled. His 5th base is not connected. There's a drop heading towards his natural right now, which he does spot, but will he react? That's the question. Here it comes.
The drilling claws are there. They're already setting up a bit of a minefield, and here comes the drop. The Mutalisks have seen it. A huge commitment, by the way. He would do well to maybe even build a...
Splits! The splits are late, at least I should say.
Yeah, he lost a couple of Marines there. He didn't really see that immediately. He was still occupied with the drop, but now the splits are coming into play once again, and I have to say he's doing a great job once more.
Some of the best splitting I have ever seen, and there's just too much this time.
Yeah. Yeah,
but still,
it's going to be a little bit too much, but you can really see that the Terran player, he's being forced back here. But those Widow Mines that he has all over the map, they are doing a great job to cover his retreat.
+3 attack is done, but he overextended himself yet again. If he had split better in that first engagement, this would be a totally different story.
A big problem for him are the Medivac numbers. He only has 1 Medivac now. He has the +3 attack upgrade. Oh, those Mutalisks need to be very careful. They're fighting the Marines, and they should do that.
Yeah, he needs to be very careful here. +3 doing a number on those Mutas, but he's just got the overwhelming amount of them. The Lings keep the depot down, the bunker's going down, and Boom Boom is not stopping the pressure. He's totally turned this game around.
There are only 8 Marines left, and he just doesn't have the Medivac support. If you have Medivacs to heal this army, then it's going to be a different story, but no.
GG AZUBU defeats MVP, the team in first place. And Boom Boom, he did it. He is the MVP. What an excellent play. That streak he just showed us, his resilience in the games. A very, very important win for AZUBU, and Boom Boom has got to be feeling great about this one.
Great play by Boom Boom today, but Bang actually had a really good shot at taking this game, but his Medivac numbers, that was really where he lacked just too much. If you have 3 Marines and you have the Medivacs to support them, it's so difficult to make this happen with Mutalisks. But yeah, without the Medivacs, that's just no chance.
Yeah, and you know, a few of those engagements, some of his micro was incredible, but if he wasn't looking, he lost a lot of Marines that he shouldn't have, and that lost the momentum that he had going forward, and then his parade push was kind of stuck out in the middle of the map with just not quite enough units to push the Mutas back, and the Mutas just kept going.
Yeah. But for Bang, it was exposure in the booth that helps them a little bit for the future, and that's of course also important going into the playoffs so that they have additional options. DRG there on screen for just a second. That's as close as he got to the booth today.
Yeah. Well, that's how it all comes down here. AZUBU is in the playoffs. They won that spot, just making their overall win ratio a little bit higher.
Yeah. And currently, of course, we will have the interview soon, but to sum this up, AZUBU now in the playoffs. StarTale with a win tomorrow would not only seal their own fate and advance to the playoffs together with AZUBU, but also seal the fate of FX Open, who would drop out. So tomorrow is going to be really important.
I want to stress this again. Tomorrow is at 7 p.m. 6 hours later than you probably thought it was. So if you got your friends together, you thought you'd see an awesome match between StarTale and LGIM at 1 p.m. Korean Standard Time, you're wrong because it's at 7. And we just got this information. We want to share it with everyone. So tell your friends, text everybody, send a mass text. Spread the word everywhere because I don't want people tuning in here at the wrong time being like, wait a minute, what?
Put that up on Reddit as well. Yeah. Let everyone know that tomorrow the match is going to start at 7 p.m. Korean Standard Time. That's 1 hour later than today's broadcast started.
It's really the final. It's the final match before we go into the playoffs. It's two titans of teams, StarTale versus LGIM,
and it's going to seal the fate of StarTale and FX Open. So it's important for 3 teams tomorrow.
Yeah, really, really important. So I want everybody tuning in, and I want that information spread throughout the tubes of the internet. Everybody needs to know.
Yeah, we got the information quite late ourselves, so yeah, make sure that everyone knows it and then can tune in to watch this tomorrow. Today, on the other hand, we had a very interesting match, and it's going to be quite interesting what the AZUBU coach has to say about the performance and also about them going to the playoffs.
Yeah. Really, really looking forward to seeing what he's saying. See how big his smile is as well when it happens.
He must be really happy. They were really struggling a little bit, and when it started with 2 wins by Keen, it looked like there was no chance for them to actually make this work today. But they were able to come back thanks to Boom Boom and got a lot of wins. He started off with a victory against Shine and then just advanced over Swagger, aka Killer, and took even the last game to give them the win in the team match today. We are, of course, jumping into the interview right now to find out what the coach has to say, and the MVP of the team, which has to be Boom Boom today.
Yeah, absolutely no question in anyone's mind. See what he has to say.
Supernova is already laughing at the top.
Yeah.
네, 그렇습니다.
When Symbol lost, he thought the match might actually be a loss.
표정 관리가 좀 안 됐었어요.
And Boom Boom did a lot better than he expected. Is the gist of what he said.
이런 것을 좀 조심스럽게 준비를 하게 됐었는데, 자, 임성춘 감독님 오늘 최종환 선수에게 한 말씀 하셔야죠.
고맙긴 고마운데 이 최진혁 선수는 경기를 보는 이 저나 같은 팀원들의 그 입장에서도
He's saying thanks to Boom Boom essentially here. It was all up to him.
오늘을 기점으로 다음에는 좀 더
Boom was still looking a little bit wiped out.
최진혁 나오면 무조건 이기겠다.
Even though he looks very dangerous during the games.
그런 선수가 됐으면 좋겠어요.
He's always able to pull out the game. So he basically was saying is it looked dangerous in the games. He might have lost some of them. He was able to pull out the win anyways. That killer game especially was pretty epic. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, killer game was actually pretty cool, but on the other hand, came down to the scout.
Yeah, absolutely. If he had not scouted that, it would have been a totally different game.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not the kind of thing that you can defend and once you see it walking towards you on the map. Definitely not going to work out that way.
It was really close, and I'm actually like, he's not talking about the playoffs too much just yet.
지금 뭐 저희 4, 5등 확정 아닌가요? 4, 5등 확정 아니었나요? 지금요? 예, 아무래도 좀 여유 있게 이겨야 3위까지 가능한 걸로 제가 계산을 했던 것 같은데 잘못 계산을 했던 것 같고요. 이제 이렇게 힘들게 올라가다 보니까 이제 큰 욕심 안 부리기로 했습니다. 다음 주 토요일까지만 경기하고 그때 가서 생각 다시 하겠습니다.
So you're saying if they might get third place, they're already happy that they're in the playoffs anyways. Just depends on the situation in the group whether they get third place or not instead of fourth, which would affect which place they start in.
Yep.
So it's a big deal for them.
Will affect how many matches they have to play in the playoffs with the system that we use.
But as he said, he's already happy enough that they made it to the playoffs, and that would just be a bonus. That's not in their control anymore.
He should be. That was close. It was very close.
Very, very close indeed.
Boom Boom, of course, being the MVP with 3 wins for his team.
예, 오늘 사실 아무 생각 안 하고 왔는데
Very deep voice coming out from Boom Boom here.
나갈 수도 있다고 그래갖고
So he didn't really think that he was going to play today, but the coach told him that he might have to.
하다가 솔직히
He actually sent him out. He's apparently still a little bit surprised by that.
불안했거든요. 근데 어떻게 하다 보니까
So he told him that he was confident, but inside he actually felt very nervous going into the booth. You could see the relief after the second game.
Yeah. And, you know, in the first game, you could tell he was really nervous when he first came to sit in the booth. He was like, he has his hand on his pants, you know, his hands are definitely sweating. So, very tense situation there. And he turned it around, and I'm sure he's gotten a ton of confidence from this win.
네, 뭐 그건 감독님이 절 믿어주시면은 나갈 수 있을 것 같은데 그런 일이 일어날 것 같지는
So
않아요.
if the coach trusts in him in the future, he might be able to play in the playoffs as well. Looks at the coach and says like, I don't really think it's going to happen though.
이게
Sometimes I actually feel the AZUBU coach somewhere has a box with the names of his players and he just grabs one and is like, okay, you're
나가라는
next.
식으로
That's at least the impression they leave you with when they're talking like
Yeah,
this.
it's definitely true. When he says when he goes to the coach's room to ask him a question, the coach always tells him to get out.
예.
So he thinks the coach doesn't really like him all too much.
이 밤만 되면 너무 제 방에 와서 있으니까 예, 좀 부담스럽더라고요. 예, 왜?
He says it's because Boom always comes into his room so late. It's not a good time for him.
그래서 저는
It's like, dude, I want to sleep.
선봉 기회도 두 번이나
But I have a
줬었고,
question right
물론
now.
그다지 성적이 좋지 않았기 때문에 한동안 그 관심에서 사라져 있었거든요. 예, 그래서
It's like the AZUBU coach, like, this is my interview now.
다시 기회를 줘야 되나 싶을 때,
He said he wasn't performing too well in the individual league, so
예, 오늘은 그래도
he said he
되겠지.
wasn't really thinking that Boom Boom would do well in the GSTL looking
예,
forward.
다음에는 들어올 때 꼭
Obviously, that turned out to be an incorrect prediction. And since he performed well today, he might be able to play in the playoffs.
Am I the only one who finds those answers really weird? Like, if you actually are on that opinion, why do you send that guy out in the most important 2 games that you have? Why?
Yeah, it's like, it's kind of a weird. I almost wonder if he's joking, but I mean that's what he said.
I mean, I'm calling BS.
He's basically the Joker, man. He's always got that smile.
Yeah, I get the jokes, but usually he was like pretty straightforward with his answers and very open about that. But that like just sounds weird. Like, I didn't think he would be able to do anything. And why did you send him out as the last player?
Yeah, it seems a bit strange, but
you can do that if there's nothing on the line. But if it's all about the playoffs,
maybe. I mean, like you said when you asked him, Boom Boom said, you know, I am confident, even though he wasn't. So.
Yeah.
When we get to hear from Coach Chue, actually, because of course they are still in first place after this this loss, but still enough points to be first.
Yeah. Whatever happens, they will be first. The worst case scenario is if StarTail all kills tomorrow, they will be tied with StarTail in points and score. But with a direct comparison, they will still take first place.
역전패를 당한 이후 굉장히 걱정을 많이 했거든요. 그런데 그 후로 팀원들이 워낙 잘해줘서
So, in the first match after losing to Axiom Ace, he was a little bit worried that the season might not go very well for his team. He's very happy that their players were able to come back and take down all the teams to go to first place and go straight to the finals in the playoffs. So basically it means that MVP only has to play one single team match to win the title.
이영석 감독한테 일단 미안하고요.
You said he's sorry for Choya.
오기 전부터 이영석 선수가 2킬 이상을
Doesn't have to be sorry for Choya. First of all, it's FX Open's own fault that they're in this position in the first place, and second of all, FX Open can still advance.
뛰어보지 못한
StarTail loses
선수들을
tomorrow.
마음을 먹었었고요. 그래서 오늘 나온 두 번째, 세 번째, 네 번째 선수가 아마 MVP 팀원으로
After securing first place, he wanted to give chances to other players who aren't really playing broadcast matches, as was evident by his player picks of Shine and Bang, both shown on camera.
And they both played well. I mean, we talked about it. Either you give a chance for Super to take additional wins for the individual ranking, or you give additional exposure to players that haven't played too much in the season, and that's what he did, and it's absolute legit.
Yeah, totally legit. Which team do you want to play against in the finals? Because they get that direct seed to the finals.
그냥 다들 치열하게 해서 많은 카드를
And he said he didn't really think about it
보여준
yet.
다음에 올라왔으면 좋겠습니다. 예.
He says he wants all the matches to go to the ace match so the other teams will be tired out. Although I think after each match they'll probably have a lot of time to recuperate. I don't know. It'll be exciting for the fans if that's how it goes, especially since it's going to be best of 9 going
I can
forward.
see him watching the games and be like, nah. Last match again.
Yeah.
Like the dungeon keeper laugh that you have with the imps when you click them. Oh, someone didn't play dungeon keeper.
I did not. I'm sorry. I've heard you tell me about it a lot.
네,
Oh yeah,
안녕하세요.
we talked about this
Yeah.
once. All right.
Well, Keen now is going to get interviewed. A very vocal fangirl going nuts about that.
Very vocal.
네, 잠시만요. 제가 못 들었거든요, 방금. 네.
He couldn't really hear. He wants the question to be repeated. I think is what he said.
제가 요즘 잘 먹고 잘 지내서 살이 되게 많이
You seem to
쪘거든요.
look better these days.
게임만 하다 보니까 살도 찌고 그냥 그게 경기력까지 잘 이어진 것 같아요.
He's eating well. He's always practicing in the team house. He said he feels he's getting a little bit chubbier.
Should play more soccer.
이번 시즌에 선봉 출전을 되게 많이 했거든요. 근데 선봉
This
출전할
season he started
때마다
as the starting player a lot for the team.
어느 정도까지는 제가 선봉의 중요성까지는 제가 맨날 챙긴 것 같아서 꼭 1킬을 하고 내려왔거든요. 그래서 오늘도 1킬만 하자 생각했거든요.
He's satisfied he was able to win at least one match every single time he started, so he never just went out after the first match.
The coach nods like, yep, that's my boy.
Yeah.
일단 동료들 말은 별로 신경 쓰지 않고요.
This interview gets a lot more personal with the
저번
music
인터뷰
turned off.
때 제가 올킬 했을 때 제가 결승을 제 손으로 마무리 짓고 싶다 했거든요. 결승 진출을. 근데 오늘 제 손으로 마무리 짓게 돼서 기분이 되게 좋은 것 같아요.
So, when you all kill... Okay, so we wanted to bring his team into first place, especially when they all killed, and he's happy that he was able to carry his team to the finals.
Yeah.
Of course, the wins that he delivered already earlier, those two, that ensured already that they would go into first place.
And if you go into first place, which I think we haven't really talked about all too much this season, you go directly to the grand finals. So they're starting in the finals. So basically everybody else that's in the playoffs is going to fight for their chance to play against MVP in the finals.
Okay, the further down you are in the ranking, the more team matches you have to play, and then you advance through the ranks and end up in the final, like one team, of course.
So, for example, who's in second place now, who is currently Axiom Acer, will start in the semifinals.
Yeah. So, they have to play at least 2 games if they advance, and or a maximum of 2 games, and that's kind of how the playoff system works.
Yeah.
1 slot left.
Yeah, 1 slot left indeed. It's all going to be decided tomorrow. Everything comes down to the line. So again, tell all your friends 6 hours later than you thought, 7 p.m. Korean Standard Time. We don't even ever normally have a broadcast at that time, so it might be confusing, but it's going to be 6 hours later than you thought, 7 p.m.
Having a quick look at the match results, as you can see, we
played it on Heart of the Swarm.
Yeah.
It's on GOMTV.
A 4-3 victory for Team AZUBU today against MVP. Keen with the initial 2 wins, and then Supernova turning things around before Boong Boong takes the last 3 wins for the team.
Yep. Very, very clutch wins there for Boong Boong, and really good matches today. I enjoyed it. We got to see some new players, some new faces like Bang and Shine, the players you wouldn't expect to see.
Yeah, so great games today, and AZUBU is now in the playoffs. StarTale and FX Open, the 2 teams. Their fate is not decided just yet. That will happen tomorrow. StarTale has to face LGIM, and if they take the win, they will advance. If they lose, then they're out.
Yep. Very tense match tomorrow. It decides the final team. It's all up to tomorrow. Be there or be square. Don't forget, we also have Code A coming out next week, and we'll be starting. And it's, I say Code A, but it's actually officially the Challenger League for Korea. But same format, so that's why
WCS Challenger League is starting next week on a Wednesday, and tomorrow's match here on screen, StarTale versus LGIM, 7 p.m. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, be there.
Yeah, and this is it kind of for today. So we had a very interesting team match, and of course Boong Boong here coming through for his team and making sure that AZUBU is going to be part of the playoffs of Season 1 of the GSTL.
Yeah. This is, it all comes down to this. I mean, I've said that 1,000 times by now, but everything is on the line. We have been in this team league for several weeks now, nearly 2 months. And here's the schedule for the playoffs. So you guys will see that every Saturday match from now on, well, actually not every one because the final will be at 6, but the match on the 13th, next Saturday, is the last and the only one that you will see at 7 p.m. ever.
Okay, so, yeah, I wouldn't say that, but yeah.
Well, for this season, I suppose.
knowing our schedule. Yeah. So 6 p.m., 7 p.m., and 6 p.m. Keep that in mind, guys. The final is then on 6 p.m. on the 20th this month. So these are the matches that are going to happen. You can see 4th place versus 5th place, and the 3rd versus the match winner, 2nd versus the match winner. So you just continue through the ranks.
Yep. So we've got 2 weeks left here. The final all comes down on the 20th. So mark that on your calendar. MVP, obviously, the first of 2 teams to be in the final. The second team will be decided.
And tomorrow we're going to find out who's going to advance, as already said several times, together with Team AZUBU. It's either going to be StarTale or FX Open. StarTale is facing off against LGIM. And yeah, this is it for the day. So really interesting games that we had, a very entertaining series. And we are, of course, back tomorrow at 7 p.m. Korean Standard Time. Make sure that you tune in. See you then. Bye-bye.
4 years, 4 kids later down the line. My progression is my profession. I'm doing shows with a 9. My mama's trying to